What? How you all doing? Had a bit of a lazy day, and it's been like super peaceful. Hanging out with family until like 2-3 o'clock. Doing bits of like photography and stuff, but I didn't carry anything with me today to shoot video. Like seriously, no vloggy camera. Didn't even take my phone with me for the times of the day that I've left the house. So as I say, just been hanging out. Grandma come round. Grandma and Granddad came round for especially like we had a late Christmas with Grandma and Granddad. They brought round some presents for me and Inky and asked if the boys could go back to theirs to open up presents there. You know, another tree and stuff like that, like other bits. And we said, yeah, sure. So we went, did our one round wrapping. Thank you for the gifts. The boys, bless them, having a good time with Grandma and Granddad. I happen to know what they got for Christmas from Grandma and Granddad. Nintendo Switch Lites. So my sons have 2 Nintendo Switches now. The idea being that when they go to Grandma and Granddad's, rather than taking their Switches they have here, play on the ones they've got there. They've always played different consoles when they go to Grandma and Granddad's. They're spoiled. Bless them. Grandma has also taken notes of the Instax printers and Inky's Polaroid lab, which I think Inky and my mother-in-law probably appreciate more than a lot of people, because when they went to college and school and college, they spent a lot of time in the darkroom. I've been talking to Inky about that a fair bit today. They spent a lot of time developing 35mm film and other stuff, experimenting with chemicals and developing time and stuff like that. And so I drew a bunch of random prints. I've done a few prints. Some of them I shot today, and then we've got some like older stuff that I dug through and decided I was going to print. You won't be able to see them very well, mind you, but we'll see if we can. These are all in focus and are sharp. That's Ram and Zeba from the Rand Nerds 24 Hours. We've got Inky playing with my ring. How about Charlie Spaniel? Got this one today. Bless him. We printed off a comparison shot for Square, Instax Square, and the Polaroid. I found this picture of the man Zeba and Charlie Spaniel, What About Me, out front of the house, and basically we did an Instax print and a Polaroid lab print. The differences are quite small. Colours are better on this. The Polaroid seems more muted. It seems very much a product of its time, which is something that my mother-in-law mentioned, that every photo you seem to take with these feels like it comes from the 1970s, whether or not you took it on a camera or printed it on the lab. It does seem to, because it's an old school film process, it does have that particular look to it. But colours I think are a wee bit better on this, but and you'd think with the Polaroid being bigger you'd have a lot more in the image. You don't. You only have a little bit extra on the floor here, so like a little bit extra at the bottom of the door would maybe be on the Polaroid. Otherwise, framing is near identical. So that was good to see. Both equally good. So if you're looking into it, there you go. And whilst out and about, I did some landscapes. Now the one that I did take, the main one I took today down on the Broads, I don't have that here. Inky has popped it in one of the in one of the cartridges, and popped it on the wall. But here's some stuff that we have got. This is one down the marshes. You know, I don't think it's a bad one. I'm not a very good landscape photographer, obviously. Now here is where you start to see the instant film struggling dynamically. You know, the darks weren't actually that dark, to be honest with you, but they have come out quite dark. There's another one down the marshes. If I had to be honest, the most interesting part of that image is probably in the sky. And Inky quite likes this one. This one's a bit better dynamically for range and that. Is that you can actually see the sun and the moon on that shot, plus there's reflections in the water at the bottom. I quite like that one. I got a mini print of, this is another one where the dynamic range struggled. I did a different one for Inky, and Inky done one directly from camera. The one that I did Inky actually came out a fair bit better than this one. But, you know, that is pretty much what I've done today. I've printed off a stack of other moments. You know, just rando stuff. I've already gone through like 20 Instax, two full packs of Instax film. Inky's gone through probably like 3 packs of Polaroid at this point. So, you know, it's good stuff. It's nice to have. It's nice to have. I realise that a lot of the stuff I have on my phone, or I currently have access to photo-wise easy mode, is stuff that I've shot from like June onwards. When I sorted out, we got the Pixel 3a in like what, May or something like that, something like May, June. So I started uploading photos then, and photos I've taken with this, the GX9 and the Fuji X-T1. They're all on, some of them are on a hard drive that I can get hold of. So I've just been printing some of those off. But that's been my day, just loafing about. We've done a nice little live stream. By the way, we're featured on the main page of a smaller streaming site today, and let's put it this way. You can tell they were a smaller streaming site because even though we're on the main page, didn't affect our view counter at all, not one iota. So whilst it's nice to be featured on the main page of certain sites, if they don't have the traffic there, it really doesn't help any. Yeah. And the other thing, me and Kim family have been talking about my memory. Turns out it's actually pretty bad. Progressively getting worse. You know, I said to Inky today, because we were chatting about, like I said, with the college and the film and all that kind of stuff, she can fondly remember things all the way back to high school. I remember a few things, but nothing in quite the detail that Inky does. And over the last 12 years, next to nothing. Next to nothing. And I said to her, yeah, you know, sometimes I feel a bit jealous. But you people actually remember a reasonable amount of things, solid things. I don't. I can pretty much forget as soon as we finish talking about them. As soon as I stop hitting the record button on this, I'll probably forget what I've said, what I've spoken about, until I go to cut through it tomorrow. Yeah. I liked some of these. Don't get me wrong, the quality they're not perfect. They are not perfect. The dynamic range ain't there, they're not pin sharp in a lot of cases, but they're still quite nice photos. Quite nice photos. And some of these images come out better on the thinner ones than they do the squares, because you can, ideally what you want to do is shoot a portrait when you're doing square, because then you can move up and down the frame. If you go wide on a square, if you go landscape, you can't fit a whole hell of a lot in there, you're going to crop off the edges. If you ever take a picture and you want to get the whole thing, like if you do take a portrait, you really want to go with these, but if you know where you're framing for the square, go for the square. But there's some like where I've got people sat down in front of the camera, and they really need to go on these because otherwise you get like this really bizarre crop. Nice little keepsakes. Nice little keepsakes. That's it. We're done. I'm going to go and have a shower. Sorry for these vlogs being really long and really dull at the moment, but like I said, I've been out a fair chunk of the day without a camera. And the boys went to Grandma and Granddad's, and me and Inky have been live streaming Destiny 2. It's been quite fun. Finished the second expansion. A couple more expansions to go and we're done there already. Which is quite surprising. Hope you are. I'll see you with a like tomorrow. What was I saying to Inky today? My main aim is to be erased from history. Because I'm going to forget everything anyway, right? So leave no survivors. Or just don't leave a particularly great impression. Wait, that might be counterintuitive. The worse you do, the better, the more you'll probably be remembered. Damn it. See you tomorrow.